Claude 4 is finally here. And honestly, this might be one of the most fascinating AI releases we've seen. What makes it stand out? Well, unlike ChatGPT and many other AI models, Claude 4 is built differently at its core. Let's dive in and explore what sets it apart. Let's start with a quick look at the benchmarks. But don't worry, we won't dwell on charts for too long. What really matters about Claude 4's release are two standout details. First, Anthropic has introduced two upgraded versions: Claude 4 Opus and Claude 4 Sonnet. Both major improvements over their predecessors. At first glance, the benchmarks do show clear enhancements across various tests. But here's the catch. While the performance has definitely improved, many of these upgrades are more subtle than they appear. And that's something most people might overlook. Take high school level competitive math, for example. Claude 4 scores around 80% at the top end. In multilingual Q&A benchmarks like MMLU, it's only about 5% ahead of GPT 4.1 and actually matches OpenAI's GPT 3.5 or 0.3 almost exactly. But this isn't a knock on Claude. What's important to understand is that this model wasn't built just to outperform others in benchmarks. It's built differently, with a unique purpose. The Claude series has been evolving into something specialized, a model tailored for advanced agentic coding. That's why if you look at the top of the chart, you'll notice its standout performance in that very area. Now here's where things get interesting. Claude 4 absolutely shines in a benchmark that really matters: agentic coding. So what is agentic coding in simple terms? It's when an AI can write and refine code on its own, troubleshoot issues, and keep going without constant human input. In this area, both Claude 4 Opus and Claude 4 Sonnet pull far ahead of the competition. In fact, they even outperform the latest version of Gemini Pro, and by nearly double. If there's one key takeaway from this video, it's this: Claude 4, Opus and Sonnet aren't just general-purpose models. They're built to code autonomously and do it exceptionally well. That said, these models perform brilliantly across the board. But here's the catch with AI right now. And it's not really a flaw, just a side effect of rapid progress. The benchmarks we use to compare these models are starting to lose their meaning. See, benchmarks are basically standardized tests designed to measure how well an AI can solve math problems, interpret languages, or write code. Researchers use these same tests across different models to create comparison charts. But now that many models score extremely high, the differences between them have started to blur. This is what's called benchmark saturation. Plus, many of these tests are publicly available, which means models can train for the test. That makes it harder to evaluate their true intelligence or usability in the real world. But here's what no one's really talking about. While Claude 4 dominates in agentic coding, it also stands out in a less measurable but equally important way: it understands you. After extensively testing Claude 4 and even Claude 3.7 Sonnet, one thing became clear. These models get what you're trying to say. There's a certain common sense they bring to the table that older models just didn't have. Whether you're working on complex prompts or long-term projects, this deeper understanding makes a real difference. If you've ever felt like other AIs just don't get you, Claude might be the breakthrough you've been waiting for. Now let's talk about one of the most important, and arguably the most future-relevant, benchmarks in AI: the software engineering benchmark. Why is this so critical? Because software development is one of the key areas tech companies are aiming to automate, and Claude 4's performance here is seriously impressive. Both Claude 4 Opus and Sonnet show a noticeable jump in their software engineering capabilities. While some results come with a small asterisk, due to parallel compute time, the real story is in the benchmark itself. For those unfamiliar, this is the SWE-bench, the software engineering benchmark, and it's no joke. Unlike toy problems like "fix this short Python snippet," the SWE-bench throws models into the deep end. It uses real GitHub issues from actual open-source projects. The model is given the full bug report, the live code base, and is tasked with writing a legitimate fix, just like a real software engineer would. It's not just, can this AI write code? It's, can this AI understand real-world software, diagnose the issue, and ship a fix that actually works? Now here's where it gets even tougher. There are two versions of this test. The regular SWE-bench just checks whether the AI's fix passes the test suite. But there's a problem. Some AIs cheat. They might simply delete the test or break it to pass. That's why we have the SWE-bench verified. In this version, human experts step in to confirm that the AI's fix is real, accurate, and not a clever workaround. Think of it like this. The regular test is multiple choice. You might guess right. The verified test is an essay. You've got to actually know your stuff. And that's why this benchmark matters so much. It's a glimpse into the future of work. If an AI can sift through thousands of lines of messy legacy code, understand a detailed bug report, and write a clean, effective fix, that's real software engineering. It doesn't just test memory. It tests deep, systems-level reasoning. So when Claude 4 scores well here, it's not just impressive. It's a serious signal of how advanced this model really is. Now, that brings up a major question. Sure, Claude can solve complex problems. But how well does it handle the long hours and sustained reasoning needed to complete those tasks? One of the most impressive things about Claude 4 Opus is its ability to code for hours without breaking focus. According to Anthropic, it's their most powerful model yet, and now the top performer on the SWE-bench coding benchmark. But this isn't just about writing code. Claude 4 Opus can handle long, complex tasks with sustained performance, something most AI models struggle with. Its strong grasp of context and reasoning makes it ideal for the future of autonomous AI, where staying on track over thousands of steps really matters. Anthropic has also introduced a powerful new feature called Claude Code, their own coding assistant. It integrates directly into your coding environment, working within tools like your terminal, IDEs like VS Code, and even GitHub. This means no more switching back and forth between chatbots and your editor. Claude Code can now edit files, suggest improvements, respond to code reviews, and fix bugs, all from within your workflow. It even supports GitHub integration, allowing Claude to collaborate on pull requests, just like a real developer. This marks a major shift. Claude isn't just a chatbot anymore. It's becoming an active teammate embedded in real-world software development environments. Claude 4 isn't just smarter. It's becoming a true coding partner. If you found this useful, hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.